Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Junior Trader. So we have Nvidia's earnings this Wednesday, and before that, I came across a really well put together article that shows us the summary of where Nvidia stands in relativeness to its peers, and then also over the last couple of years to itself. Nvidia is the cheapest right now among its peers and also compared to its past historic performance. And earnings coming around, everything looking great. Price action today is not bad. It's holding better than the rest of the market. We are still technically green from the last closing day on Nvidia. And so not that bad, okay? When the rest of the market is really, really selling off. If I quickly show you S&P 500, look at it, kaboom, rug pull, right? Nasdaq 100 is just like multiple rug pulls now here, right? But so I will take you over that article. Let's talk about that. You would have seen the chart on my thumbnail as well, part of that. And then we'll take a look at the technicals. And because I did a video over the weekend as well, how things are looking like, I provided you two trade plans on Nvidia stock, right over here. How to read these trade plans? Well, for that, please check this video out of mine if you haven't done so, right over here on my channel, Nvidia stock earnings week. I did this over the weekend. Now, so let's get back over here. I want to take you first over that article. It puts in perspective the fundamentals of Nvidia. Author goes in talking about why he believes Nvidia is cheaper. I'll provide my opinion as well, but let's take a look at this article first. So at less than 24 times estimated, Nvidia is trading not far from its lowest price to earning multiples in 5 years. It's also well below its 5-year average of roughly 38 times. All right. So, and this is the chart that shows you where Nvidia stands in relation to other stocks or its other peers. ARM is at 60 times up here. A-Lab is 55 times. Broadcom is at 29 times. AMD is at 29 times. Nvidia is 23 times. All right, it's price to earning ratio. Okay, so and then Nvidia stock is trading on price to earning ratio at a steep discount to its 9-year median as well. All right, and so this is where it shows where we are, as in its relativeness to its past performance, and it's cheaper on the median scale as well. The dotted lines or the dashed lines, that's the median. Okay, so now the question that author answers himself is, what is the reason he believes? He comes to the three factors. The number one is that why is Nvidia trading so cheaper compared to the historic times and to its peers? So the three reasons are Nvidia's valuation has compressed despite record fundamentals because investors are repricing the duration of AI spending rather than questioning its existence. I am 50-50 on getting behind this reasoning, because I don't think it really matters. Nvidia is mostly the supplier. Yes, it's investing some of the money in other companies as well, but it's still mostly the suppliers rather than the implementer. It implements, but the Nvidia is not really like scaling its expenses as well, right? So I'm a little bit 50-50 on this point, but that's okay. It's still a valid point. Second, Nvidia is navigating a major transition from Hopper HGX systems to Blackwell chips. This brings near-term margin pressure that shows up in earnings growth rates. And the third one is where Nvidia's weight in S&P 500 index is 7.4%, higher than allowed by the charters of many fund managers. So the weight, little bit of Nvidia's restricts for what is allowed by the charters of many fund managers. What it means is that though Nvidia's fundamentals is better than the broader market, there is a headwind to its PE ratio caused by fund managers obligated to lower their stakes in the stock as it appreciates faster than the market. And so that's where the charter that fund managers follows, by that it's not allowed to really go heavy more than what their principles allows them. Anyways, so the last point pretty much comes to the point is that, as I always say, stock can be really awesome, company can be really awesome, I mean to say, but the stock price will only react if the money is going in that stock price. Okay, so, and the third point kind of validates that if people, or the fund managers or investors are for any reason have to even restrict themselves to put money in a stock, right, or in the instrument, definitely you will not see price push up, right? So it's all about, at the end of the day, demand and supply, or the exchange transaction of the money, or the transaction of shares in this case. Now, so just a good high level picture I wanted to first go over. And now let's get into the technicals, because we do have Nvidia's earnings this Wednesday. I did talk about two style of trades on Nvidia over the weekend, that the drawings you are seeing here on my chart, but you will find the details on how to read these trades on my video over here on my channel. Okay, so, and there are many other trades plans, guys. I talk with my members as well, which is part of the memberships. Details you will find in the description of this video if you're interested. Now, so Nvidia, as what I mentioned, that we are looking fine for in the bullish structure. Let's get to the weekly interval. And I mentioned that Nvidia has held continuously $170. Weekly interval is holding really good strength, and we are, this time earnings may gap this thing up. Right now, earnings are Wednesday. Until then, I said that any pullback, if you get until 185, 184, technically Nvidia will remain in just a bullish structure. Yes, we are seeing it. Yes, well, we are still in the bullish structure. We went all the way up to 194 while the whole market was selling off and is selling off, but Nvidia is still holding strong. All right, a little bit giving up the gains. And guys, this area 194, I have shown you previously as well on my tools that this is a very stubborn level of very high short sellers. So this level needs to be breached eventually, and earnings may be the catalyst. Let me show you the short volume data again over here. Part of my tools. If you need access to my tools, details are in the description of this video. Now on Nvidia, definitely 25 is the high. Anything above 20 I consider high. You can see 25 short volume percent in that region, right? Right over here in this region, right? Where that blue box range is, and then 22%, and then there is one sitting right right over here behind 18%, right over here 24%, right? And then in the same region while coming up here 22%, 21%, 22%, 20%, 23% as it was coming up here again, right, in that very zone. And lately, as it hit this zone again up here, 21%, 20%, then we saw a follow through again to the downside. And lately it has been again getting close to 20. However, those short sellers are trying still. I do think, and this is what is good, is that as if price action is still holding strength even after short sellers coming in. Guys, if you need access to these tools, you will find the details in the description of this video. And so even the short sellers are still piling up, but this is what adds more momentum, because once we start to then break out this range, all these short sellers will have to cover their position, and that's going to add an extra momentum. But the point is that that's the zone. That's a little bit of a stubborn zone. We'll have to get above that. The point is that though, on the technicals, Nvidia is, yes, even after the red candle today, it doesn't matter the color of the candle right now, structure is still bullish. And we are even higher than the last trading day closing price. So we are still green in the day on Nvidia. Taking a look at the hourly interval, okay? So we are just doing fine. The first level I told you was like we stay above 188, things will be just fine. Even today we'll remain bullish. You can see we are holding the next significant level already. 189 and 70 cents. You can see multiple retests there, and it's holding fine. Yes, we then, significant level is right over here as well. Another one we rejected right over there. These levels all marked by my tools automatically for you are very important to trade with, guys. The one above may not be clearly visible because of the blue box there, but if I move the blue box, you can see there is that significant level right where the price reacted today and slowed down. These tools helps you to know how to trade, okay, where the price action will react, and accordingly you will take profits, or you will take a position, you will get out of the position, and all that good stuff. Use the tools to make the decisions. Now, no problem from here in the price action as we continue to stay above 189 and 60 cents. If we lose it, there is some, again, it will a little bit slip into the loss of momentum, and it will slip into the multi-day weakness a little bit, so down to maybe 187, 188 technically. But above that, not to worry, 189.58 above will be fine. So technically the trade that for this week, the bullish trade that I talked about over the weekend as well, Nvidia is still a bullish trade. Okay, it was a day trade bullish trade. It is still a continuation in the multi-day as well, a bullish trade. Okay, nothing has changed in that regards. Little bit of momentum loss will happen if you lose this level at 189.60 area right over here, and that's where you might want to manage your position. But in the longevity on the swing side as well, until earnings, as we continue to stay above these zones, 185, 188, we are just fine. Definitely, there are two trading style I provided you. For that, you will have to check out my video that I did over the weekend to get to know more in depth which style suits you. Point is that right now Nvidia is still just in the bullish structure for this week. Let's see what the earnings does. Nvidia has many times saved the market. Let's see if Nvidia can do it this time as well. All right, guys, with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care. Bye.